When Eric Forrester's health took a sharp and terrifying downturn, it triggered more than just a wave of concern across the Forrester clan. It awakened every dormant rivalry, exposed every hairline fracture in the family foundation, and, most dangerously, unsealed a secret that had been locked away for decades. With time slipping through his fingers, Eric summoned Carter and Ridge to draft what he ominously referred to as his black box. A sealed package containing a final design sketch, his last will and testament, and one envelope marked confidential, to be read only in the event of my death or incapacitation. He left it with the house staff under strict instruction. But secrets in the Forrester mansion don't stay buried long. Especially not when Brooke Logan is in the house. Brooke, always alert to shifts in power and opportunity, stumbled upon the sealed letter when searching for her misplaced bracelet in Eric's study. The envelope fell out. She hesitated, barely. Once the seal was broken, so was the equilibrium of the Forrester family. The letter revealed the existence of a child, conceived during a fleeting affair in Europe years before Eric ever laid eyes on Stephanie. A child born abroad, unknown to everyone, quietly supported by Eric through financial intermediaries, but never claimed. A daughter, now an adult, now aware of who she is. Brooke didn't tell Ridge. Not at first. Not until she understood the full scope of what she held in her hands. She kept the secret, calculating. If this woman were to appear, if she had a legitimate claim to the Forrester name, then everything, every ounce of legacy, title, control, could shift. Ridge's hold on Forrester Creations could fracture. And with Thomas already teetering between redemption and relapse, with Steffi wrestling to hold the company steady, Brooke saw her chance. She saw the chaos that could come. And she didn't flinch. She whispered to Hope. Just enough to plant the seed. What if there was another heir? Someone with equal claim? Someone who could change the vote structure? Someone who might side with Brooke over the Forresters? Someone disillusioned, betrayed, angry? Hope urged caution, but Brooke pushed forward. She wanted control. She wanted the company. And she was willing to tear the family apart to get it. Then the storm hit. The woman, Daphne, arrived in Los Angeles. She didn't come quietly. She came with intent. Dressed sharply, eyes blazing with fire only a lifetime of abandonment could forge. She didn't knock. She didn't request a meeting. She walked straight into Forrester Creations and demanded to see her father. But Eric was in no condition to respond. Hooked up to monitors, surrounded by doctors, barely lucid. Ridge confronted her first, skeptical and indignant. Thomas dismissed her entirely. Steffi threatened to call security. But Daphne stood firm. She presented documents, birth records, bank transfers. Every lie Eric had buried, she unearthed. Every denial, every omission, it was all there, printed, dated, undeniable. The reaction was nuclear. Ridge erupted, demanding explanations. How could his father hide this for decades? How could he abandon a child? Stephanie had suffered her entire life trying to maintain control over Eric's heart, only for this truth to reveal a betrayal that outlived her. Thomas saw his leadership threatened. Daphne had the design skills, the pedigree, and now the proof. Steffi was livid not only at Eric, but at the manipulation behind Daphne's arrival. Who told her? Who gave her the timing, the edge? It didn't take long for Steffi to put the pieces together. Brooke. Of course. The woman who always hovered at the edge of family disasters, now once again at the epicenter. Steffi confronted her, called her out, accused her of betrayal. Brooke didn't deny it. She called it strategy. She reminded Steffi that bloodlines don't make leaders, vision does. And if Daphne had it, if she had what it took to lead Forrester, then maybe it was time to let the past burn down and rebuild from the ashes. But Daphne wasn't here to lead. Not yet. She was here to destroy. She told her story to the press. Anonymous tips at first. Then interviews. She didn't use the Forrester name, not until the headline screamed, "Secret Heir to Forrester Empire Speaks Out." Betrayal, abandonment, and the lies of a legend. The fashion world buzzed. Stockholders panicked. Investors called emergency meetings. The board demanded answers. And Eric, still too weak to defend himself, was silenced. Meanwhile, inside the mansion, the war escalated. Ridge refused to acknowledge Daphne as a sister. He called her an opportunist, a liar. Thomas suggested DNA tests, tried to poke holes in her story. But the tests came back irrefutable. Eric was her father. Legally. Biologically. Completely. And that meant Daphne had a claim. Not just to the name. To the company. To the legacy. To the empire. What made it worse, what turned the tide, was her talent. Daphne wasn't just a forgotten child. She was a designer. And not just good, brilliant. She had her own label in Milan. Underground, edgy, provocative. Her sketches, when placed side by side with Eric's final design in the black box, echoed his signature in haunting detail. She wasn't a copy. She was a continuation. The next step. The evolution. And everyone saw it. Carter warned Ridge to consider a settlement. Donna begged him to find common ground. But Ridge, driven by shame and pride, refused. He wanted her gone. Out. Buried. He moved to freeze her shares, to invalidate Eric's will by citing mental decline. But it backfired. Public opinion turned. Suddenly, Daphne was the victim. The abandoned daughter of a titan, wronged again, this time by the heirs who didn't want to share. And then came the bombshell. Daphne didn't want control of Forrester. She wanted to dismantle it. She revealed that she'd already partnered with a European conglomerate to launch a rival brand. She called it Phantom Lineage, a direct assault on the Forrester dynasty. She recruited disgruntled ex-employees, outbid Forrester on fabric contracts, lured away 2 junior designers, and then made her final move. She offered Hope a lead role in the new label. Autonomy. Creative control. Profit share. Hope hesitated, but only briefly. She was tired. Tired of being manipulated. Tired of playing peacemaker while everyone else played war. Brooke encouraged it. She saw it as a backup plan. But to Ridge and Steffi, it was treason. The family was imploding. Sides were drawn. Allies shifted. Eric, regaining strength slowly, watched helplessly as the house he built crumbled in real time. But he finally spoke. One night, with the family gathered in his room, Eric asked for silence. He spoke clearly. He admitted the truth. He had known about Daphne. He had chosen not to bring her in, not out of cruelty, but out of fear. Fear of what Stephanie would do. Fear of scandal. Fear of the damage. He apologized. Not just to Daphne, but to Ridge, to Steffi, to all of them. But he did not rescind her legitimacy. She is my daughter, he said. She is a Forrester. The room fell into stunned silence. But the damage was done. Daphne didn't flinch. She told Eric it was too late for apologies. She was no longer a daughter looking for a father. She was a woman reclaiming her place. And she walked out. Where it goes from here is uncertain. Daphne has declared war. Hope may follow her. Brooke's ambitions are exposed. Ridge is unraveling. Thomas is slipping. Steffi is losing ground. And Eric, though awake, may not have the strength to stop what's coming. But one thing is certain. The Forrester legacy will never be the same. The past has returned. The bloodlines are blurred. The empire is shaking. And in the shadows, Daphne is waiting, ready to burn down the dynasty that once cast her aside. In the bold and the beautiful, family is power. And power always comes with a price. Luna Nozawa's presence in the bold and the beautiful has stirred deep emotional and moral tensions, not only within the Finnegan household, but across the Forrester family at large. The revelation that she could potentially be John Finnegan's biological daughter sent shockwaves through the tight-knit family. While Luna desperately yearns for acceptance, connection, and belonging, her past and the circumstances of her arrival have left her an outcast in Finn and Steffi Forrester's world. Steffi made it clear Luna is not part of their family. But in the world of the bold and the beautiful, redemption always lingers just on the edge of possibility. And Luna may soon find her shot at it through an unlikely and dramatic turn. Liam Spencer's life is now hanging by a thread, and the news is dire. Fans watched as Liam, once the center of many love triangles and emotional whirlwinds, suddenly found himself battling seizures and neurological anomalies. What began as subtle, unsettling moments quickly escalated into a full-blown medical emergency. An urgent surgery followed, but it did not bring relief. Instead, it brought the grim diagnosis. Liam has an inoperable brain tumor. The prognosis is unclear, but the implications are catastrophic. He may have weeks, months, maybe less. He chooses to keep this devastating news hidden, bowing silence even to his ex, Steffi, and to Finn, who's not only a doctor, but also someone deeply connected to Liam's children. But secrets, especially in this world, never stay buried for long. Hope Logan learns the truth. Steffi, unable to let Liam suffer in isolation, breaks his trust and confides in Hope. Her reaction is one of agony, devotion, and guilt. The two have had a complicated history. Hope's faith in Liam has been tested more than once, but in this moment, she stands firmly by him. And it's not long before her presence becomes a constant in Liam's life. But Hope isn't staying at her mother Brooke's house, as she claims. She's holed up at Deacon Sharp's home, seeking solitude, perhaps clarity. But nothing in this family stays hidden. Deacon notices, and soon, so does Sheila Carter. And when Sheila knows, it means chaos is inevitable. Sheila, dangerous, unpredictable, cunning, has a way of inserting herself into crises that offer leverage. Her presence adds volatility to any situation, and her discovery of Liam's tumor could set in motion a chain of events nobody sees coming. Yet, surprisingly, this isn't where disaster strikes. It might actually be where salvation begins. Enter Luna. Previously ostracized, dismissed, and written off as a potential threat to Finn and Steffi's life together, Luna finds herself at a crossroads. Her need for acceptance burns deep, and though Steffi and Finn have closed the door, Luna's resolve has not waned. Her path to redemption may come not through words or pleas, but through action. It starts small. A whisper in the hospital halls. A glance exchanged with April, a relatively minor character. Jameson Belushi's lab tech, whose appearances have been few and far between. But April has access. April sees test results, scans, patient data. April knows what doctors overlook. And if April knows, Luna may know soon too. Maybe they're friends, or maybe something deeper connects them. Sisters? Cousins? Something hidden in their past, a buried secret, a twist waiting to surface? Either way, Luna learns the truth about Liam's condition. And she doesn't just sit on the information, she acts. She pours through research, reaches out to experimental medicine contacts, or maybe even travels overseas to consult specialists. Perhaps she finds a clinical trial. Or maybe she discovers a controversial but promising treatment, one that even Finn and the hospital board refuse to explore. Luna takes the risk. She fights bureaucracy. She pushes science where others have surrendered. She does it all not just for Liam's life, but for her own redemption. And then the impossible happens. Liam begins to recover. The tumor stabilizes. Symptoms ease. A miracle begins, and Luna is at the heart of it. News spreads like wildfire. Hope clings to Liam. Steffi is stunned. Finn is torn between professional admiration and personal confusion. Sheila, always opportunistic, watches it all with predatory interest. But the real emotional fallout is just beginning. Can Luna's miracle cure erase her past mistakes? Will Steffi finally lower her defenses and see Luna as something more than a threat? There is no clear answer. Steffi is a mother, a wife, a protector. She guards her family fiercely. Luna's connection to Finn threatens all of that. But even Steffi cannot deny the truth. Liam is alive because of Luna. Finn, too, is pulled in every direction. If Luna truly is his daughter, how can he reject her now? Especially when she's demonstrated the same drive to heal and save that he once had as a young doctor. Can a father really turn his back on his child, especially one who's just given another man a second chance at life? Hope sees it too. She watches Luna and begins to wonder, what if this girl, once discarded, is more than just a complication? What if Luna is family? What if she's the beginning of something new? In the bold and the beautiful, relationships shift like sand. Enemies become allies. Betrayers become saviors. And sometimes, the person you cast out becomes the one who saves you. And yet, not everyone is ready to forgive. Ridge Forrester, Brooke Logan, even Taylor Hayes may weigh in. Some will see Luna's actions as calculated, a way to manipulate herself back into favor. Others will genuinely be moved. The audience, too, will be divided. Was Luna a hero? Or was she simply desperate? Sheila, meanwhile, begins to see Luna as a kindred spirit. Both women sidelined. Both women demonized. Both women now clinging to the chance to prove they can change. This sets up an even more dangerous dynamic. Sheila is toxic, and any association with her threatens to undo everything Luna is trying to rebuild. The closer Luna inches toward redemption, the more she must resist the pull of darkness. But perhaps the most heart-wrenching element lies within Finn himself. If he is Luna's father, and she saved a man he once called brother, then who is he now? A husband torn between loyalty to his wife and love for his newfound daughter. A doctor caught between clinical objectivity and personal debt. An emotional anchor for a family now tossed into chaos. If Luna is allowed back in, what does that mean for Steffi? For Hayes, their child? For the legacy of the Forrester name? These are the stakes. And they are higher than ever. The storylines are primed for explosive twists. What if Luna discovers that April is actually her sister and also the one who manipulated hospital records in the past, perhaps under pressure from Sheila? What if the clinical trial Luna discovers becomes the subject of a legal battle, one that pits Ridge and the Forresters against Finn and Luna? The ripple effect could shake Los Angeles to its core. And through it all, Liam, the man whose life was the linchpin for all these changes, must confront a new reality. He's alive, yes. But now he carries the weight of being the reason Luna may find her way back into the family that once rejected her. Will he support her? Or will he fall into old patterns of indecision, allowing chaos to bloom again? And what of hope? If she watches Luna grow close to Finn, to Steffi, to Liam, will her trust falter? Or will she become Luna's unexpected ally? In the bold and the beautiful, every action has consequences. Every secret has its reckoning. Luna's journey from outcast to possible savior could redefine not just her place in the Forrester Logan Spencer universe, but the very foundations of what this legacy family stands for. This is not just a story about redemption. It's about power, identity, loyalty, blood versus bond, and the ever-present question, can one moment of courage rewrite an entire history of mistakes? Luna's moment is now, and the world of the bold and the beautiful will never be the same.